went to the dinner, I would put on something.
I don't do it as much. I feel like I did it more when I was younger.
Okay.
Like now I kind of just plan ahead and wear something. Like if I was in New York during the summer, I would wear a sundress, a short sundress that I could walk in all day. And then I could wear that later that night and no one would bat an eye.
Yeah, when we did St. Louis, I was in the same thing all day. So I guess it does depend on the vacation.
But if I was going to like a club, if I was with friends in New York and we were going to a club and there was a dress code, then I couldn't wear the same thing.
I got
you. Go home and change.
I got you. Yeah, I don't have to worry about that because I'm not going to be with friends and I don't do clubs.
There you
go. No. Now that I think about it, we hadn't done a nice vacation. Even we went to Hawaii a couple years ago. I was in the same thing all day. All day.
Yeah.
Except for when we went to the wedding. But no, I was still in the same thing because I didn't get up and get dressed until it was time to go to the wedding.
Oh, see, when I was in Florida, I was having flashbacks to being young on like a beach vacation, Hawaii or Florida or whatever, and how fun it was to just be in your swimsuit all day and you're like slathered in sunscreen and the smell of sun sits firmly upon you. And then you would take a shower to get ready to go to dinner or go out or whatever it was gonna be. And just that change of like, I've been in a swimsuit all day to I'm gonna look cute was like pinnacle beach vacation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the girls.
Okay.
Yeah, those were the days.
What was the song today?
Last, Burner Boy. Last, everybody go chop breakfast.
This is probably the worst thing we do on this show.
Why?
Because you don't know how to sing the songs the right way, and I have no clue what the songs even are.
I just sang the song perfectly.
Did you?
Yes.
Do it again. Do it again.
Last, everybody go chop breakfast, and then.
Everybody do what at breakfast?
Chop breakfast.
Why are we
I
chopping
think it's
breakfast?
chop breakfast. Now you have me feeling.
It
is. Not everybody go. It's okay, but it's Edoncast. Last. Not everybody go chop breakfast. Have to say bye-bye.
What's the song again?
Last by Burner Boy.
Last. Did you keep it?
Of course.
Of course you kept Burner Boy.
It's a recent song. It's like in the last couple years.
Okay. What's that mean to me?
It means I recently pressed download on the little button. I made the conscious choice
to just download and keep it. Okay. You big Burner Boy fan?
I do like Burner Boy, especially in the summer.
Is a summertime artist.
Mm-hmm.
There are those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there sure are. It's the summer. It's supposed to be 90 degrees today. It is Thursday, June 6th. Everybody, gonna be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, the NBA Finals are finally here. We will give our series picks and breakdowns of the series. But breaking news early in the day that the Lakers might not be hiring JJ Redick after all. They could be targeting the biggest coach in college basketball. We'll talk all about the Woj bomb that dropped regarding Dan Hurley and the Lakers. We will also go around the WNBA. A'ja Wilson made some history last night. We did not talk enough about her being the face of the league. And then you know what happens on Thursday. It's draft day, and we are drafting breakfast foods. Best breakfast foods. We'll end with some movie news from this week. We also have a fun new segment that we're dropping this summer. We'll tell you all about it. It's one day till Friday. You know what we say. Cowabunga!
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Royal Flush Tour 2024. November 14th, FedEx Forum. A journey through the hits and timeless classics. The iconic band returns with special guests. Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. Tickets on sale now at heart-music.com. Heart with Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. Produced by AEG Presents.
Now for a limited time, the new $1.99 crispy tender wraps are here at Sonic. Who could deny a crispy chicken tender with bold flavors like hickory barbecue and cheesy Baja? And we can't forget the crisp lettuce and melty cheese to make the perfect bite. Wrap yourself up with some TLC, tender, love, and chicken for only $1.99. Sonic $1.99 crispy tender wraps. Tax not included, limited time only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
36 and a half vertical?
Watch your head.
Yeah, you said it was 44.
You sure I said that?
36 and a half.
36 and a half is big.
36 and a half. I've got bench press here.
18 times.
17.
Okay.
You always have to put a little barbecue
It's
sauce.
all barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce on the wings.
The Chris Vernon Show, presented by Caesars Sportsbook, live weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
I think we have the college basketball title futures. UConn's number one.
I really like Houston. I'd have them winning it all, but you can't be giving Drake jerseys. What is wrong with you?
Maybe the Drake curse is stronger in college basketball.
How long has he been riding with Kentucky?
He wore an Alabama jersey and Saban retired.
The Odds Couple with Rob Fisher, Lang Whitaker, John Roser, and CJ Hurt live Thursdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
If you look at it as far as the number 9 pick over the years, there's been some pretty good players that have surfaced at number 9. Of course, Dirk Nowitzki, who won a championship. There's been a lot of great guys, but who knows if there is a great guy in this draft.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, hey. Let's have a little fun now. Hey. I wanna let it all out. Hey. That's what it's all about. Hey. Hey. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Woke up all jazzed and ready to go because the NBA Finals are finally here. Going to sit down tonight, be able to watch Celtics, Mavs, Game 1 from TD Garden in Boston. Was starting our first segment for this morning. Going to dive into the best storylines and some of the things that came out of Media Day. And then suddenly my little phone buzzed on the table next to me, and I picked it up, and I had a little ESPN alert, and it was a certified Woj bomb, CJ. Not a Woj blip or a Woj sparkler, but a Woj bomb. And it was a reminder of why we use the smooth jams of reportedly, allegedly, because everything is reportedly, allegedly this time of year. It was just yesterday that we were talking about J.J. Redick, all lined up, according to Shams Charania, to most likely be the future head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. But then Adrian Wojnarowski blew it all up this morning with one simple tweet saying the Lakers are targeting Connecticut's Dan Hurley to become the franchise's next coach and are preparing a massive long-term contract offer to bring the back-to-back national champion to the NBA. Sources tell ESPN. My reaction was truly a what? What? Not just from the standpoint of what we just talked about with J.J. Redick, but also from what we just talked about with Dan Hurley 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, in April, when Dan Hurley was reportedly, allegedly a candidate for the Kentucky job after the departure of John Calipari, and Dan Hurley did not take the Kentucky job. Dan Hurley made it perfectly clear that he was not going to leave UConn, that he was interested in building the dynasty as a back-to-back champion at UConn. He was going to stay put, continue forward. They have 5 of their top 9 scorers returning next season, a couple big freshmen coming in, a couple big transfers coming in as well. And Dan Hurley, this was a quote from April 11th, That is 56 days ago, CJ. Dan Hurley said, I think being who you say you are at your core. I know how much UCONN and the state of Connecticut and the university, how much they value me and my staff and the program staying where they are. I know all those things are in place for us to press for the three-peat and show people who you are. Once you make a certain amount of money, it doesn't matter that much of a difference in your life. I couldn't be happier than I am here, and knowing that the people that are with the portal, we're going to have to be strategic there. This is your annual reminder, monthly reminder, weekly reminder that men lie, women lie, people lie, teams lie, and coaches lie. And while this is not official news, and this is just that he is the primo target number one for the Los Angeles Lakers at this point, it is pretty massive having the biggest name in college basketball be rumored to be tied to one of the biggest franchises in the National Basketball Association. What was your first reaction to the proposed Dan Hurley to the Lakers
Why?
move?
If you're a college coach and you're not on the hot seat, why? I don't get that. I just looked. There are 5 NBA coaches, I do believe, who were hired and have kept their jobs pre-2020. Only 5. It's a league of 30 teams. Only 5 of them, right? And one of them, and Taylor Jenkins, started in 2019. So that's basically 2020. This is not a league where you get a lot of longevity. It isn't. We don't make a whole lot of Spoelstras. We don't make a whole lot of Popoviches. We just don't. We don't even make a lot of Steve Kerr's, Mike Malone's, right? Like, you can go from being talk of the town in a good way to, hey, get this dude up out of here quickly. And that's everywhere in the NBA. Mm-hmm. Then you add on to it the pressure that comes with a coach who's coaching a LeBron James, a team with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, a team with LeBron James and Anthony Davis in a city like LA where the spotlight is always on the Lakers. The Lakers are the best thing in town from a sports standpoint in that monster city, so everybody cares about what's going on. You're going to be scrutinized. You're going to be under the microscope in a way that a lot of NBA franchises aren't. And even those franchises don't keep coaches for a long time. Mm-hmm. You're back-to-back national champions at UConn. UConn is built to be good at basketball. It's a much easier job than coaching a professional basketball team. Right? Think about where UConn is compared to where everybody else is in relation to UConn. That's a blue blood program. Why would you leave that? I don't understand. It's confusing to me. I wouldn't, just because I wouldn't do it doesn't mean others wouldn't. So knock yourself out, Dan.
In the words of the great Beyonce, he might got a big ego. And that's not used in the negative, it's just used in the reality. It has gotten coach after coach after coach, person after human history, because you're right. Dan Hurley is set up to succeed. He is set up to be a coaching god in Storrs, Connecticut. They love him there. Just yesterday or last week, he was being given some award at some aqua club. He'll get award after award, and especially if he goes and chases a three-peat at UConn and continues the dynasty forward. They didn't just cruise their way. They did just cruise their way to back-to-back national championships. The point deficit was 140. That's insane. Like, they dominated the college basketball space. But what happens is Storrs, Connecticut is not big, bright, glamour city, Los Angeles, California. And the blue and white is not the purple and gold. And you become enamored with the idea that I can do this. And I would love a study done on who is more convinced that they can change things that cannot be changed? Women trying to change men, or coaches who believe that they will be different, that they will be the one who can walk into a program or an organization and be the guy who it's different for, where they make this work. And I think Dan Hurley, I haven't talked to the man, could convince himself that he's different. And he has been great. And he has won back-to-back national championships. And he has proven himself as a really good development player guy. And he's also had an offense that has been straight poetry in motion to watch in the basketball space. And you put all those blocks together and you put enough money on the other side, and money can convince you to do a lot of things. I don't care what he said a couple months ago. Enough money can convince anyone that this is the move that they want to make. And I think that's where you get yet another college coach who could certainly stay in one place and be the best of the best and not have to worry about job security. And yes, you have to deal with the constant changing of college basketball and NIL and all of the challenges there. But instead, he chooses to go coach 82 games. Can you imagine Dan Hurley cool, calm, collected Dan Hurley coaching 82 games in one of the most scrutinized media markets in the country. It will be a show.
I wouldn't give him much more than 82, though. Like, that's the other part of this. It's, hey, right now, if you just have an average year for UConn, just an average year for whatever that program is, 20 wins, maybe third or fourth in the conference, you get to a couple round of 32s, like, you're good for a decade. All right, they're not in a rush to get you up out of there, especially after winning back-to-back national championships. It's UConn. It's a blue blood program. So where, like, Billy Donovan is the last coach I can think of who made that jump from college to pro. Not at a blue blood program. As big time as Florida basketball is and was under Billy Donovan, it had falling on some typical Florida basketball times. They weren't winning the national titles. They weren't really in national title discussions, and that's because Florida is a football school, whereas UConn bleeds basketball. Like, that's a basketball school. You're going to go to L.A., potentially, allegedly, reportedly, if you follow the reports, you go to L.A.
Right, we do have to say it because we were just having these conversations about J.J. Redick having his first head coaching job yesterday.
Watch the first episode of the clip. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
But you go to L.A., and you're there. Sure, it's the glitz and the glam. Sure, it's the money that you could make. But it's also, you're there to coach LeBron James and Anthony Davis. My question, if I was Coach Bob Hurley, and if I was in his camp, and I'm sorry. If I was Coach Dan Hurley and I was in his camp, and I'm not, but I would love to be, the question I would ask him is, cool, this is your roster this year. What do you think is going to be in 2 years? And forget 2 years from now, do you really think this roster is good enough right now to win something significant? Because that's what you'll have to do. It can't be an in-season tournament type thing. Do you think this roster is good enough to get you a top 4 seed in the West and to get you to an NBA Finals? Because I'm gonna be honest, LeBron James is still great. He's not one that's going to carry you all the way to a championship anymore.
Yeah.
And that's understandable. He's 38 years old, almost 40. They can't keep leaning on him to do everything. So do you think they have the pieces around LeBron, or can go get pieces around LeBron to make his job easier and to make your job easier? Because if you do, great. Go ahead and go. But after the LeBron years, what do you think this is going to be? What do you think you're going to end up after the LeBron years in 4 or 5 years? Do you think you'll still be good enough to be there? Because a lot of coaches aren't. There's only two coaches, only Spo and only Popovich, who have had, okay, we've got these once-in-a-generation type talents. We're going to ride this all the way through. And then when that talent leaves and starts coming down, they're still able to keep their jobs. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Steve Kerr as that core group begins to get on the decline, to see if he's a good enough coach to keep his job. But after you get to coach one of those mega superstars, usually you're up out the door when they're up out the door.
My thoughts went like this. One was the whole notion of Dan Hurley coaching 82 games and the sheer spectacle that would surely push through, especially being in LA, because he's animated, he wears his heart on his sleeve, he gets very frustrated, he sweats a lot, he has all of his idiosyncrasies that make Dan Hurley, that make him a very fun character within the college basketball space, also a winner. Then you go to the next step. My first thing was, is LeBron James not coming back? Like, that's... all of the language around it implies that LeBron James has very much been a part of this decision and this coaching process. And I've heard already one too many times this morning, if the Lakers go and take Bronny James with the 55th pick, who better to be in place to help the development of Bronny James than Dan Hurley? If I'm Dan Hurley, that's not the biggest sell. But again, then maybe you go into the Mr. Miyagi factor and Dan Hurley thinks, maybe I could be the person who brings out the most potential of the son of one of our greatest basketball players of all time. But I think it's more the matter of teams beginning to understand with this new CBA and with the rules around going into the second apron, there has to be more of a focus on player development. And Adrian Wojnarowski, in his report on this being the Lakers' target, went into the fact that this is about finding someone who, understandably, this is towards the end for LeBron James if he returns to the Lakers next year and if they take Bronny James with that 55th pick. But it's about figuring out somebody who can make Austin Reeves the best version of Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura the best version of Rui Hachimura, Max Christie the best version of Max Christie. And I hear all three of those names and I look at the construction of this Lakers team and I look at the construction of the Western Conference too, right? Like the Lakers got trounced by the Nuggets, who then turned around and got upset by the Timberwolves, and then the Timberwolves got trounced by the Mavs. So the Lakers are real far down the totem pole in having to be a team that is genuinely competing in the West next year. I just think it's bizarre. Ultimately. But I understand because of all the things that we've said. I understand from the standpoint of someone being enamored with the idea of being able to be that guy, the one who is able to go in and bring the Lakers back into a competitive standpoint.
I don't get it at all. I don't understand at all if these reports are true, if these allegations are true, and if he ends up going over there. It will baffle me, and it always baffles me, always blows my mind. Because it is hard.
Were you baffled by Harbaugh doing it on the football side? Because I but my first thought went to Kalen DeBoer leaving Washington for Alabama. And I get it. Alabama, Tuscaloosa, not a glamour city, but Alabama football, the mecca of college football after the groundwork laid by Nick Saban. And Kalen DeBoer is someone who could have stayed in Seattle and been a god with the Huskies, and instead went on down to... Yes.
How?
Everything started...
Right now, where's Washington in the Big Ten?
Well, no, and I think, but they lost their entire staff and they lost their entire recruiting class, and no one was transferring there because he left for Alabama.
Where is Washington? And here's the difference in the two examples that you're giving. Hurley is fine at UConn.
Yes.
The NCAA is coming after Michigan and Jim Harbaugh. So that's one thing. So maybe he gets out of town before he has to pay for his before he has to pay for his alleged crime, burgers and whatnot, whatever. NCAA, you're a joke, you're a sham. Where's Washington in the Big? He stays. DeBoer stays at Washington. Rank them in the Big Ten. Are they better than Michigan? Are they better than Ohio State?
To Michigan in the
Are they
national
better than
championship.
Ohio State?
I don't know what it would have been being able to ride off an appearance in the national championship game, where yes, they got crushed by Michigan.
They're not better than Ohio State.
They aren't now. Now they're at the bottom.
They aren't. Are they better than, I guess you'd say they're better than Oregon?
You'd have to say they were better than Oregon, USC, and UCLA, so they're at least at the top of the Pac-12 cream going over.
Right, so there's a potential for them to be the third best team from a traditional historic standpoint in the Big Ten. There's also the potential for them to be 7th or 8th. If USC gets their act right, if Penn
But you're
State,
also in the potential of walking into, my point was more towards going into the lion's den of having to take over in a seemingly unwinnable situation. Like you are, even though you are a coach who has been at the top of your profession or towards the top of your profession, and in Dan Hurley's case, he is at the top of his profession, but you are still the David going into a Goliath-like battle because...
Who's David?
The coach is leaving the place where they're stable.
Okay.
And having to enter these spaces where we're all looking from the outside like, your chances of failure are incredibly higher to leave and take over one of those teams versus staying comfortable. But then again, it comes in. That's why the only thing that can ever make sense to me, because a coach can sit here and say money doesn't matter, it has to be ego. It has to be this notion of human desire to be the one, the chosen one.
It's absolutely ego, and it's stupid. It is.
Yeah.
Like, it's to me, it is, why would I want to work hard when I can not work hard? I already did that. I already built this program right here. Not a whole lot of people get to build or are able to build two, let alone go build one in college and then go to the pros and build something there as well. If you've got it humming, and Hurley has it humming at UConn, and there's no sort of major impending scandal, I don't understand why you leave. What?
The major impending scandal, it's not a scandal, it's just the changing landscape of college basketball. I mean, the Lakers tried to do this 20 years ago with Coach K. They tried to throw a ton of money at him to lure him from Duke to the Los Angeles Lakers, and he stayed. But I think the landscape of college sports right now is daunting for these coaches, and how NIL and the transfer portal has created a tsunami that they are constantly having to deal with. There is no summer vacation. There is no break. It is just constant. And so maybe it's not as much of a no-brainer for Dan Hurley to stay comfortable, because maybe even the most comfortable in college sports right now isn't really comfortable at all.
But you've conquered this. You know what you're doing in this.
And they have such a good team coming back.
You know what you're doing in this. Is all alleged and reported. You're right. The changing landscape of college sports, college athletics specifically, men's basketball and football, that is a lot. But you are winning in it. You're the best at it right now. So why would you leave it?
But
That
maybe
doesn't
even
make
being the
sense
best
to
at
me.
it means, like, maybe it's caught up with him.
Okay. Well,
I've seen a lot
listen.
of tweets about burnout lately,
Okay.
and just this notion of how
great. You're
But
gonna go.
my point,
you're gonna go
yeah,
from
you're
being
gonna
burnt
you're
out.
gonna
You're going
solve
to get
your
burnt.
burnout and head to the Lakers in one of the most scrutinized coaching roles in the country, playing for a player who
Coaching.
well.
Well, like.
I mean, I don't think LeBron's going to be a completely not allowed player coach in the case of Dan Hurley. I don't know. I can't speak for that. I can't speak how a locker room would react to a Dan Hurley versus a JJ Redick. And there was a report late last night that I actually found interesting. I forget where I saw it, but it was the notion of Anthony Davis within all of this and how Anthony Davis would have preferred Borrego as opposed to JJ Redick. It was just a throwaway, like, one-liner that I saw somewhere. But then within Woj's reporting, he did point out that it's been important to the Lakers that Anthony Davis feels as if he is as much of this process as LeBron James is,
Because
which makes sense.
He's supposed to be the one to get the baton when LeBron
Yes.
James is no longer great, when he's just very, very good. And, like, okay, you got Anthony Davis and a very, very good LeBron James. Good luck to you on the two coaches that you brought up, college coaches. It absolutely surprised me that Jim Harbaugh left, but I could understand him leaving. It didn't surprise me when DeBoer left, because I think historically Alabama is a better football program than Washington, a significantly better football program than Washington. And if we look at historically where Washington fits into the Big Ten, I think that's in this current Big Ten, I think that is a middle of the pack thing. And so eventually you revert back to what you are historically. And I think DeBoer looked around and might have, maybe, if it was me, I would have looked around and be like, yo, I don't want to be Nebraska. Like, that's not what I want to be. At least go to Alabama, where historically I can keep up with Oklahoma, Texas, Georgia, LSU, and the rest of the SEC.
I think the reason I brought up the DeBoer example is because from a standpoint, and like Seattle is a metropolitan, like a giant city, but it's not the SEC. Washington was not the SEC. They were in the Pac-12, even though they are now moving to the Big Ten, and like you mentioned, the challenges that come with that move over. But Storrs, Connecticut is not, even though UConn men's basketball has certainly turned into a blue blood. We have had the last 3 years, we have had the conversation, okay, is UConn men's basketball a blue blood? Yes, officially stamped after this last title. It's undeniably a blue blood, but it's still Storrs, Connecticut. It's still UConn. Like, they're not in a power conference. And so some of these things impact them even more so, even being who they are. I mean, even a Gonzaga is going to deal with implications, especially as we continue to figure out what exactly the House's decision meant when it comes to this pocket of money that's going to be available for conferences to pay out players. But what happens to these schools like a Gonzaga or a UConn that are so big that don't find themselves in Power 5 conferences? So
and maybe that's the
that might be the end.
Really, I just brought up DeBoer again because I wanted to talk college football.
That's fine. Me too. I saw the pictures of the college football playoff came out yesterday with the dates and the games.
Yeah.
And like it sent little tingles down my arm.
Hit me with big tingles.
Oh, look at it. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Good luck, Dan Hurley in Los Angeles. There's more important things going on with the college football playoff 2024-2025 schedule.
The dates.
Oh, the dates alone. It's so funny because I found myself thinking going into tonight's NBA Finals, I was pontificating how excited I am for game one. And I was like, a part of that is because we've had this extended break, right? Like, speaking of burnout, there was a bit of basketball burnout occurring because we had a huge stretch where we had an NBA playoff game every night. And then it started having some trickle nights off here and there. But we hadn't had a full week off in ages. But then I saw the college football playoff schedule lined up with the NFL holiday schedule. And it's like football every day for 2 weeks. And I thought to myself, shoot it up. Let's get football on the TV every single day. And the same goes for basketball. And I just don't want any breaks
give it straight
ever,
to me.
anytime. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. There was one other note that I wanted to make about the Hurley and Lakers piece of it all and what it could mean for the transfer portal for college basketball. Plus, we will talk about the WNBA action last night. Asia Wilson was a star, and the NBA playoffs, or the finals, do start tonight. So we'll preview that matchup between the Celtics and the Mavs a little bit after a quick break.
Mike did his favorite black films of all time. Mike, where we at?
If there's one movie I know every single line to, it is Coming to America.
There we go.
It is Coming to America. It can come on any time of any day, and I'm going to stop and watch at least 20 minutes of it.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Marge Simpson?
Come on, Bennett. You'd hook up with Marge Simpson?
Yeah. You ever see the ones with her hair, when she lets her hair down?
You're attracted to Marge Simpson.
Marge is cute.
Cute?
Legacy.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I respect her.
Yeah.
But she ain't Jessica Rabbit.
No, she's not Jessica Rabbit. She's not Jessica Rabbit. No.
The Gary Parrish Show, live weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. We have another edition. This will be the third edition of the Debate Club. You guys are going to sell a shoe to Mr. Bennett Doyle, our producer over here.
Oh, yeah.
I saw these.
I've seen these.
I saw these on social media too.
It's the perfect house shoe.
I know, right?
Like, yeah, it's not even a house shoe. I bet you they're really comfortable. You heard of unisex. This is unifoot. Oh my God.
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Mike did his favorite black films of all time. Mike, where we at?
If there's one movie I know every single line to, it is Coming to America.
There we go.
It is Coming to America. It can come on any time of any day, and I'm going to stop and watch at least 20 minutes of it.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Welcome back. Shout out to Lee Evans in the chat for alerting me that the College Football Playoff National Championship game on Monday, January 20th at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, is also the day of the 2025 presidential inauguration. There's only one storming I support, and that is of the field at the Benz. When USC, behind Lincoln Riley, wins and goes back to the promised land of college football championship status.
Your butt must still be hurt, because that's what you're thinking from if you're saying stuff like that. What are you
talking
talking
about? It's called Believe season. It's the off season. It's 2 days before Phil Steele's College Football magazine goes to print, and I will read it and convince myself, you know what?
No high like a Phil Steele high. Nothing like strolling through that damn magazine and say, hey, let's start with Ohio. Let's start with the MAC. Tell me, Phil, who's good on Ohio? Who's out there for Miami of Ohio running around the field?
I'm just interested in Miller Moss taking over for Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams.
Give me your preseason.
Go take your painted fingernails, which I support, to Chicago and let Miller Moss take USC to the championship.
Give me your American all-conference preseason members, Phil. Give it to me. I need it. I want it.
Every time I see the headline of Lakers prepared to offer Dan Hurley, massive offer. They keep putting massive offer in quotes, and I wish we would just call it what it is, a strong-ass offer. I wish we would just adopt that for all big offers that we use in the basketball space. Yeah, what's up with Will Wade?
Where's General Booty at?
Now. General Booty?
Yeah.
He transferred. General Booty was at Oklahoma.
He was, and he transferred out.
And he got the underwear.
Didn't he start at LSU, or was that Dakotas? Where's Dakotas also? Those two were 5 stars. I think they were at least 4 stars.
He entered the transfer portal, but he's still on the Sooner Sports website. So perhaps
nobody coming for that booty.
There's been no General Booty news for a month.
Nobody
the last
coming
General
for booty?
Booty news came a month ago from Bleacher Report saying he was entering the college football transfer portal.
I would think there would be a lot of teams that would grab that booty.
One would imagine.
Yes.
As somebody who's been having significant booty problems,
maybe you should grab that booty.
General Booty can solve everything. All right. One thing that was interesting with if Dan Hurley were to go to the Lakers, yes.
I think he's at Louisiana Monroe, according to Alex in
General
the chat.
Booty?
General Booty.
Shout out to our chat.
Shout out to the if this is true.
Only our chat
if this
would
is
know.
True.
Only our chat would know the placement of General Booty. Can I play with General Booty at Louisiana Monroe in the new college football 25 game? Because I might take the Warhawks, Louisiana Monroe.
Warhawks.
Yes.
And shout out
that
to Alex.
Sunbelt life in me forever.
Alex was right. The Warhawks went out there and grabbed booty.
Oh. Nice.
Now I've got to add them to the list of teams. We didn't talk about this. We got to talk about other important things. We didn't talk about this last week when you brought up the EA Sports game, college football. But you can start off as a coordinator, and I always wanted to start as a coordinator.
Yeah.
So can you be like coordinator at major program? You can't be head coach at major program. You have to be coordinator at major program and
make the jump.
then go to head coach at a smaller program and then jump back up.
Well, I don't know. You can't do coordinator to big head coach.
We've
seen that more.
Yeah, can you do that?
That would be the realistic
okay
standpoint.
Okay.
Just preemptively, going back to the whole January 20th thing, that should be a national holiday.
Why?
Because no one should have to do any work.
Oh, because of the football?
Yeah, because of the football.
I thought you were talking about the inauguration. I don't care about that.
No, that's just like that's a tailgate. Yeah. If you don't treat it as a tailgate.
Please do.
I certainly did not support anybody treating it as a tailgate.
What's wrong with a tailgate?
Tailgate usually can get a little raucous-y. Get a little.
Should we not be raucous for democracy working?
I do love democracy.
Democracy is pretty
Nothing
cool.
gets me psyched for a all SEC title game like democracy.
You think it's going to be an all SEC title game even with 12 teams?
I hope not.
You think it's going to be Oklahoma, Florida?
No, it's going to be Memphis, USC. I already told you. It's going to be devastating for me. Anyway, the transfers from UConn, they would have 30 days. The window would open for all of the players at UConn to transfer anywhere else if Dan Hurley were to leave for the Lakers. It would be a transfer portal bonanza like we have never seen because, as mentioned, even though UConn lost Klingon and Castle and who else did they Tristan Newton to the NBA draft, they still returned 5 of their top 9 scorers. This is a UConn team that is at worst a projected top 5 team, at best a projected top 1 team going into the preseason of next college basketball season. And they have a couple big transfers as well. They have a 5-star that's highly touted. It will be all hands on deck. A lot of coaches will be offering some strong-ass offers in college basketball, which is legal now, so they are allowed to. But I don't know, maybe some of that David Jones money that was saved could be tossed elsewhere. The ripple effect will go for quite some time. You have to be curious how it's impacting decisions that were maybe on the cusp of being made, and now you're like, well, do we pump the brakes? This has many layers to it as we continue onward. All right, I started this morning. You want to know what I thought we were going to talk about first this morning, CJ? the NBA Finals, and this little picture of Jason Tatum that I, for some reason, have saved in my memes folder from 2022. I have a memes folder on my phone of just funny pictures from sports, pop culture, the internet, the news, whatever. And I've always gone back to this picture of Jason Tatum, and I never have a reason to use it because the only reason I saved it was the absurdity of this jacket that felt very Two-Face-like, very Harvey Dent-like, where it's the pink on one side, the pinstripe on the other. There's some paisley print in there. There's also the cheetah print rolled up sleeves. It was a very provocative jacket. It had me thinking a lot of thoughts. And now I'm curious what Jason Tatum's going to wear for Game 1 tonight in Boston when the Celtics face the Mavs.
What do we call that ice cream?
Neapolitan. That's a Neapolitan,
it's a Neapolitan jacket.
It sure is a Neapolitan jacket. Fashion forward. I believe it was Dolce & Gabbana. But really, it was reminding me that kind of lost in so many of the conversations we're having about the finals is how much experience Jason Tatum has in the postseason. And like, undeniably, Luka Doncic is the best player in this series. He's one of the best players in the world right now, right? But Jason Tatum, of anyone playing in this NBA Finals, has the most talent mixed with postseason experience. He has played 108 playoff games. The man is 26 years old, and he has played 108 playoff games. He's been in 5 conference finals. He's been to an NBA Finals. And I think, based on listening to him over the last couple of days, there is a level of maturity that comes with that. And I don't think it's something that can be overlooked going into this. Yes, there's so many more components, but sometimes just having been there and having the battle scars that have added up, and obviously the pressure that sits upon him, because if you're Jason Tatum and you're in Boston, you can't just be good, you can't just be great. You have to win a championship or you're, frankly, nothing. That sounds harsh, but that's how Boston sports exists. And so this is really important for him, and I'm very excited for this series.
You said Luka, and I think people would agree with you. Like, Luka is the best player in the series. But how close is Tatum? Right? Like, if we do top 5 players in the NBA, people would have Tatum in their top 5. And certainly if we extend it out to 10, Tatum is in damn near everybody's top 10. I think that Luka's the best player in this series, and I'm saying it like that because I'm not 100% sure and 100% confident, and I don't believe that Luka's so much better than Jason Tatum that Jason Tatum can't be better than Luka, in a 7-game series, right? Like, how much better is Luka to you than Jason Tatum? He's got a higher usage rate because his team needs him to have that type of usage rate. The Celtics are built as a collective, as a team in this. And you think about guys who can take over games offensively, and you think about what they can also do defensively. They brought this up on Grizz a Grind City Media subsidiary. Go watch that. It was a great episode yesterday. Jarvis, DeMichael Cole, Mike Wallace. They also talked to Gary Washburn of the Boston Globe. So great episode. Go back and watch it. But the Celtics have dudes who can also defend, not just play offense. They play both sides of the court, and Tatum has some of that in him, some of that ability in him. I think if they have to lean on Tatum, if the Celtics have to lean on Tatum offensively, I would expect him to rise to the occasion because he has that in him, doesn't he?
See, it's weird because I don't get that feeling from Jason Tatum. When you talk about confidence in a player having the ball in his hands at the end of it with the game on the line, that gap between how much better is Luka than Tatum grows exponentially to me. And this is a series where Jason Tatum could prove that. But like you mentioned, he might not have to prove that because of how the Celtics are built. Because you just had Jaylen Brown win Eastern Conference MVP. Because you have...
And not to cut you off, but could have very easily been somebody like a Drew Holiday.
That's what I was going to say. Drew Holiday, you could make the case for Derek White.
Yep.
And so because Jason Tatum doesn't have to go, and on the flip side of that, like Luka and the partnership with Kyrie, and someone in the chat just said Kyrie's the only one with championship experience, someone who has won a championship, and that's true too. But there's just something different with end-of-game scenario Luka versus end-of-game scenario Tatum. And that's not saying that that can't be. The playoffs are for those kind of narratives to shift. It's just the problem is Tatum might not always have that. I know they were talking on the Vernon show yesterday, is Tatum boring? And that's such an easy thing to say. And my first response would be, yeah, Jason Tatum is kind of boring. But he's just good. He's not good. He's a really, really good player in the NBA. He's a top 10 player in the NBA. There's just not a whole lot of flash or pomp and circumstances, and he's not also as fiery as a Luka, and so sometimes that detracts from how we talk about these players.
Yeah.
Fair or unfair.
And I think that the closing, the ability to close out a game and close out an opponent, I would give that edge to Luka over Tatum. And I think that's why we don't why we think Luka is significantly better. We think he's better because of that ability and because we hadn't seen Luka fail here yet. All right, we've seen Tatum fail in the finals. We've seen Tatum fail in the conference finals. We haven't seen Luka do it yet. So until we see him do it, most of us will be like, oh no, he is better. And there's something different about the regular season and the playoffs. There's something also different about playoffs and NBA finals. I think having the experience the Celtics have with Tatum, Brown, and throw in Holiday as well on their side, I think that is enough to make this a legitimate series. I'm not sure if they'll win it. I'm not sure who's going to win it. That's why this series is going to be so much fun. Celtics in 7. Celtics in 7. Because I think you can, one of the 4. If you got 4, you only need 1 or 2 of them to be, you need 1 to be on. You need 1 or 2 to be kind of on, and then the 4th one can just be have an off night, right? The Celtics have more good players who can have an off night and still win than I think the Mavericks do. If Luka or Kyrie has an off night, that guarantees Lively, Gafford, PJ Washington, and the rest of those dudes are going to have off nights because everything they do flows through those two.
The Mavs, crazy stat I saw, shooting 57% off Luka passes this postseason. 57%.
How many of those are freaking lobs?
54.
Yeah.
54, I have the answer to that. 54 lob dunks. You want to know the next most, the team with the next most lob finishes? I think it was the Nuggets, but it was 9.
Yeah.
The Mavs have 54 lobs this postseason.
At some point, I think it was to start game 3, maybe start game 4 of the conference finals. They threw a stat up that said Luka Doncic had 24 lobs so far in the playoffs, 24 lob dunks. If you added up teams in the playoffs, if you added up the second place team, third place team, and fourth place team, those teams combined had 23. And that was game 3 of the conference finals. Yeah. Luka Doncic and the way that they run that pick and roll is perfect because Luka can get you, Luka's a big boy, Luka gets you on that general booty, and there's nothing you can do to get around him. So now you're trying to play drop coverage, and Luka and Kyrie are both good enough if you're playing drop coverage to lob it over the top. And then they've got 2 freak athletes and Gafford and Lively who are tremendous finishers on lob plays. Right? Like, so I'm curious to know how the Celtics are going to try and defend Luka. The Timberwolves maybe could have tried switching, but do you really want to switch? We saw what Gobert did in the game on the line, right? So I'm super excited for this, and I'm curious to know what the game plan is.
The defensive assignments have me so excited, like the primary defensive assignments, because I don't think Kristaps will be on either of those bigs. They don't generally put him.
Wait, he'd have to be on.
I don't know what they're gonna. That's why I'm curious.
You can't have Kristaps on PJ, can you? Can Kristaps
That's what we're about to find out. That's what we're about to find out.
Get out to the corner.
Yes, he can.
Can he?
Yes, he can. But can he right now? That's my other question. Like, Kristaps Porzingis is going to play, but how effective is Kristaps Porzingis going to be? Who do you think they put on Luka to start?
If it was me, I think they'll start with Brown on Luka. If it was me, I would start with Holiday because I think that Dort.
I put Holiday on Kyrie just to eliminate him or attempt to.
Put Brown on Kyrie. Brown is a longer defender. Brown is agile, quick. He can keep Kyrie in front of him best he can. You saw that Holiday was asked, hey, how do you stop Kyrie? And he's like, pray. Yeah. Like there's not much that you can do on either of those two players. I love that answer. But I think that
cross your fingers.
Lou Dort showed in the Thunder series, hey, now Luka still had Luka moments. But this is how you can guard him. You can get into him with a stockier defender, a thicker defender, get up into him.
Even seeing Anthony Edwards
Anthony Edwards, just get into him with a stronger defender. Don't let his strength do your strength. And I think Holiday is better at that than a Jaylen Brown would be.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, you could put Brown, who's a really good defender in his own right, really quick also, and has length to get out there and contest a Kyrie pull-up or a Kyrie floater. So that's how I would start. But again, you could I'm not sure I'd go 5 or 6 possessions in a row with the same defensive assignment. I would be switching that thing up as much as humanly possible because you can't show these two the same thing for long periods of time.
They figure it out. We've seen it time and time again. My heart says Mavs in 6, but my head says Celtics in 5.
Your head says Celtics in 5?
Yep. My head says Celtics in 5.
What? The gap between your head and your heart is phenomenal.
It's incredible.
Because your head is saying...
I'm rooting for the Mavs this series.
Okay. Why?
I don't know. I just don't... I live in a household with someone who really doesn't like the Celtics. And I just in general have never...
What the hell did the
felt an
Celtics do to
affinity.
him?
They're in Boston. Well, the Warriors beat the Celtics.
Yeah.
But it's just a general dislike, a distaste
Where's he
for
from?
Boston
He's
franchise.
from San Francisco.
Yes, but he went to school in New York and had to deal with a bunch of massholes for the existence of his massholes.
Is that what we call people
Have
from
you never heard
UMass?
that before?
No.
Yeah, people who live in Massachusetts, people who live in the Northeast who go about a certain way of life. You know? From the Patriots to the Celtics to the Red Sox.
Okay.
That's just not a team that I feel a certain amount of affinity for. And I want Luka to win his first. Because I enjoy the lore building of Luka, and I will enjoy the heated conversations to be had about who is actually the best player in the world, Jokic or Luka, if both have a title behind them. Because you have to have the title to be collectively in those legacy conversations that we love to have. Speaking of people who are building their legacy and people who we have to talk about, yes, we will get to our breakfast foods draft, but I will not end the show without talking about A'ja Wilson. So we'll take a quick break. We'll come back, talk about what A'ja Wilson did with the Las Vegas Aces.
She must have fouled Caitlin. She must be jealous of Caitlin Clark.
We'll talk about that.
Will we?
Yeah.
Okay.
People must be being physical to A'ja Wilson. People must have busted A'ja Wilson's nose because they're jealous of Caitlin Clark. They really want to make a point for Caitlin.
Yes.
I think that's the way it is. But all in all, and one of Caitlin's former teammates, Kate Martin, is just living her best rookie life with the Las Vegas Aces. And I think it speaks to the culture that the Aces have and why they are one of the more fun teams to follow in sports right now. We'll talk about that on the other side, plus a breakfast draft. Think about your favorite breakfast foods, and we are guaranteed to make you mad with the ones that we take instead. We'll be back after a quick break.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
We have another edition. This will be the third edition of the Debate Club. You guys are going to sell a shoe to Mr. Bennett Doyle, our producer over here.
Oh, yeah.
I saw these.
I've seen these.
I saw these on social media too.
It's the perfect house shoe.
I know, right?
Like, yeah, it's not even a house shoe. I bet you they're really comfortable. You know, you heard of unisex. This is unifoot. Oh my God.
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Marge Simpson?
Come on, Bennett. You'd hook up with Marge Simpson?
Yeah. You ever see the ones with her hair, she lets her hair down?
You're attracted to Marge Simpson.
Marge is cute.
Cute?
Legacy.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I respect her.
Yeah.
But she ain't Jessica Rabbit.
No, she's not Jessica Rabbit. She's not Jessica Rabbit. No.
The Gary Parrish Show, live weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
The Grizz Girls are no ordinary dance team. They're known across the NBA for setting the standard for world-class dance and entertainment. From hip-hop to jazz, the Grizz Girls do it all. And they're looking for talented dancers with dynamic personalities to join the team. Do you have what it takes to join a premier NBA dance team and entertain Grizz Nation both on the court and in the community? Visit grizzlies.com/auditions now for more information and show us what you've got at open auditions Saturday, July 13th. Let's talk about MVPs.
Let's do it. I went with the Joker.
Oh my God, Nikola freaking Jokic.
Every time I watch him play, I am so impressed.
I'm obsessed with him.
Yeah.
Everything he does works. He can pass, he can shoot, he can rebound, he can drive, he can defend. Like, he can do everything.
He can lead the fast break, and he's like 7-1.
IMHO with Lang Whitaker and me, Kelsey Wright Johnson, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
This week spends time today mentioning that A'ja Wilson went off for 36, 14, and 6 steals, because that's how you grow the game, is talking about players like A'ja Wilson and putting a spotlight on her.
And being intelligent in how you talk about them. The video's
Sure.
down. We're trying to get the video back up. No, but like we're on. I'm pretty sure they can still hear us, and the video just came back. We're good. I think they could just hear us, but they couldn't see us. Either way it goes. You talk about it with an understanding that A'ja Wilson not only did this, but did this while getting beat up. Right. Did this while being slapped around, bloodied, like you said, knocked contacts out of her eyes. That's just the way this game is. And for so many people, I feel like one of the main issues or critiques of the NBA from a certain segment of the populace, my father is a great example of this. The NBA is way too soft. Everybody likes one another. They're not physical enough. You can't breathe on somebody.
Stars are overprotected.
Stars are overprotected. Those are the critiques that I hear a lot from NBA fans. Well, here's a type of basketball where that's not the case. That physicality that you crave, maybe not the physicality from the 70s and the 80s, but maybe some of that physicality that you crave from the 90s and early 2000s, that's here in this sport. That's here. And to see players overcome that physicality, it's something that makes them more endearing and makes the game, for me, a bit more enjoyable in that aspect than their peers on the men's side. Also, it goes to show that Caitlin Clark is not the only one getting the hell beat out of her. If A'ja Wilson's going to go through that, what the hell do you expect these rookies to get? If Skylar Diggins, all that Skylar Diggins has accomplished, can catch an errant elbow in the face from Copper, all in the name of competition and trying to get a win, what the hell do you expect Angel Reese to go through? Like, that's just what this game is, man. You either embrace it or, honestly, truthfully, like, stop talking about it. Just shut the hell up.
Yeah, and I will say, too, I think another piece that goes along with the Aces, and when I was saying players who are among the tiers of the best in the WNBA, it does feel as if it's A'ja and then Breanna Stewart and then a grouping. Like, I'd put Arike in the group of players who are chasing into the upper tier, even though A'ja sits there at the tippity-toppity by herself right now.
You put Thomas? Alyssa Thomas, where are we putting her?
In that growing stage.
That's a walking triple-double.
Yeah. That's fair.
Arike, I think, is there. I think I moved Thomas up into the Stewie category. I'm still high on Jonquel Jones. I know it's hard with the Liberty because of the Jones and Stewart on the court at the same time. I think Jonquel, though, we saw her when she was on her team, what she was able to do. She's made sacrifices to be able to fit in with a team with Ionescu and Stewart on it, but I still think the world of her. Bonner is another player I think would be in that Stewie tier as well. But to your larger point, this is A'ja's league, and everybody else is trying to find a way to hold that, to catch up to that, to stop that from going off the way that she has.
But it's also, like, watching some of that game last night was a reminder that a handful of the top 10, 15 players all play for the Las Vegas Aces.
And
Jackie Young, Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray's still been hurt.
So, and that's the one I think would be in a tier, in a tier with Stewart. Like, A'ja Wilson's up here, and then you got Stewart, and we can call it the Stewart tier if we want. But that next tier player, Chelsea Gray's in that tier, and she's not even there. The Aces have 3 when healthy. Chelsea Gray is there. 3, maybe 4 top 15 players in the WNBA.
Right.
Like, that's incredible.
So while all the rookies are fighting for their lives on teams that are not very good, whether it be Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese or Cameron Brink and Rickea Jackson in LA, you have a rookie like Kate Martin who just gets to live her best life. Like, I don't know, for people out there who might not know Kate Martin's story, but she showed up to the WNBA draft simply to support Caitlin Clark. They were teammates at Iowa, wasn't expected to get drafted. She ends up getting drafted by the Las Vegas Aces. She makes their roster. She is going to have the opportunity to play for the Aces potentially at some point this season. It was her birthday the other day, and A'ja Wilson got her a crown. They make funny videos with her. They treat her like she's, in the midst of, like, funny rookie hazing, but they protect her. But she also walked into a team that won back-to-back championships. She is not situated in a team that has been in the doldrums of the WNBA fighting for their lives and trying to rebuild through the draft. She got to waltz into a pretty great scenario, and I think it's been very fun to see the contrast in someone who can just enjoy being a rookie with very limited pressure and very limited eyeballs, because nobody's watching the Aces to go see Kate Martin right now. That's just a fact of life. They could someday, but she's living her best life, and it brings me great joy. But I also think it speaks to how the Aces are as a team, and I put a lot of credit to A'ja Wilson because she's the head of the snake there. Put a lot of credit to Becky Hammond and how she coaches that group. But the way that they feel so welcoming and inviting and just a very warm, true team that does a lot of stuff together is something that I think is pretty cool.
I'm texting your husband. We're having a
What'd he
interesting
say?
conversation. Oh, no, we're talking about something completely unrelated.
Okay.
You brought up the Hello Kitty backpack.
Yes.
So you brought up. Did you bring?
No,
up?
I didn't bring it up, but that was so cute.
Okay, so all right. So they brought her for her birthday a Hello Kitty backpack
and a tiara.
And a tiara, and I do believe they just left her at the dinner. Also,
I couldn't tell if they actually left her at the dinner or if they staged the video to have her running after the bus.
They came back and picked her up, but they absolutely left her.
It was so cute.
They left her, and she's chasing the bus down, and then they turned around and got her back. That's a fun.
Adorable.
That's a fun team, and
Right.
part of them being good is them being fun and genuinely enjoying one another.
Yes.
And that stuff comes across when you're losing as, okay, be a bit more serious. But when you're winning, you can do that. Winners get to do whatever the hell they want to do in this world. I don't know if you know that or not, but they do. And so as long as they keep winning, this stuff will be endearing. And this is something that shows the personalities that this league has. The super personable team that's the best team in the league is doing things like this with their rookie. A rookie who is still on the roster. And you know how hard it is? I can't emphasize to you people enough how hard it is to stay on the roster. Shout out to the homie.
Yeah. All right, do we want to take a break in breakfast draft, or can we do the breakfast draft in this block?
We can do the breakfast draft now.
All right, it's time for draft day, and we are drafting best breakfast foods. Draft of the best breakfast foods. What are your favorite breakfast foods? What do you eat for breakfast? What do you choose to eat for breakfast? I was planning for this draft, and it was a lot more difficult than I thought it would be, CJ.
Real quick, I thought we were doing phrases or words that we hate.
Well, if you had texted back yesterday, then I could have prepped for phrases or words
here's
that
what
we
happened.
hate.
Here's what happened to me yesterday. I laid it down for a nap at like 4:45 and didn't wake up until my alarm went off. It was one of those types of days. So I missed that from you. I missed something from a guest that we have been trying to get on. Like, it happens. My bad for needing to rest.
I'm sorry.
Apologize.
I would have remembered maybe that we
Can we do it next week?
Yeah, we can absolutely do it next week.
So
next week we will do.
We know what we're doing next week.
Slang phrases that we hate.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Oh,
I'm sorry. I don't know if you remember, but I broke my coccyx and it really threw me off my axis. So I forgot a lot of things. Like my coccyx is connected to my brain six. And it prevented me from remembering that we did talk about that during the show. So instead, I was trying to come up with something easy that we could draft, and I said breakfast foods, and I never heard from you, so I assumed we were doing it.
Yeah, well, it's your show. We do whatever you want to do.
Breakfast foods, it is. It's a collaborative effort.
It's not that damn
collaborative. It's not just Asia Wilson's team. It's collaborative.
Yeah, but
you're the Chelsea Gray.
Yeah, but if you take Gray off, that team is still going to be amazing, right? Well, no. You're Asia and you're Gray and you're Kelsey Plum. Like, you're all three wrapped in one. No, you're also Jackie.
No, you're Jackie.
Who's the homie who threw it to Enrique last night?
Wait, Alicia Clark. That was
That's
one of the
who I
funniest
am. I'm
things
Alicia Clark.
I've seen.
That's it.
Everyone was saying, like, if we had Shaqtin' a Fool for the WNBA, Alicia Clark would have been the star of Shaqtin' a Fool last night, because there she is inbounding it to the wrong team. I know I've told this story on the show before, but it very much reminded me of when I scored a goal on the wrong soccer goal when I was a kid, and that was the end of my soccer career because the coach got so mad, and I was so excited because it was wide open field in front of me, and I was like, why is nobody trying to defend me? And I just scored. And there's Alicia Clark just throws it to Enrique. And I wish Enrique would have made the shot, but whatever. It happens to the best of us. Breakfast draft. Who gets the first pick? Stop texting my husband.
I'm listening to
Stop.
you.
You're over there texting my husband.
I'm listening to you. He'll share with you what we're doing. We're doing some stuff.
I can't wait.
All right.
Wait, why?
Why is Jessica Brown and why
you're
am I back on Donald Trump?
You're the
Rudolph.
Trump duck.
Let's go, Donald. Let's go.
I am Rudolph.
Donald's a winner, speaking of people who do whatever they want to do until they become losers. He lost that election, and now he can't do whatever he wants to do.
If you lose this duck race, you're about to be 0-35 this week.
Come on. No, Donald. No, Donald. Hey, make me a different duck next time. I don't want to keep being Donald.
Well, you would want to be Donald Duck. You just don't want to be Donald Trump Duck.
Yes, because Daisy. Ooh, boy.
Ooh, boy.
Ooh, Daisy toting that thing back there, boy. Man. Woo.
All right. This is so pressure.
It's not that much pressure.
Yes, it is.
It's a clear number one.
I agree.
Yeah.
I hope it's the same. With the number one pick in the breakfast draft, I take bacon.
Yes.
Bacon, bacon, bacon. Bacon is good for me. I love bacon. Crispy bacon specifically, but I will eat bacon of all kinds and creeds. I love me some bacon.
I don't think you can go wrong with bacon. There's not a bacon that I've had that's been like, oh, this is bacon. Ugh. Crispy? Sure. A little rubbery? Sure.
Fine.
You want to throw it in the oven? Bet. You want to put it in a cast iron skillet?
Give it to
Fine.
me. You want to put it on a sandwich? Go.
You have it.
You want to put it on pizza?
Bacon
Go.
is so good That you can eat bacon as the main dish?
Yes.
Or as a topping? Like, come on, put bacon on a good breakfast sandwich?
As the great Curtis from Wife Swap once said, bacon is good for me. You'll never take my bacon.
Oh, I forgot about that dude.
King Curtis.
All right.
Chicken nuggets is my family.
Give me, they are family. Oh gosh, I really need that one. Give me give me biscuits and gravy.
Okay.
Give me biscuits and gravy. That's gonna make people upset, but like I'd prefer biscuits and gravy if I can't get bacon. I prefer that to everything else. Now, if I say sausage gravy, does that give me sausage or no?
No.
Okay, so give me biscuits and gravy. That's my one.
I like biscuits plain, but I'm weird.
You don't put jelly or anything on?
No. My Nana made the best biscuits, and the liquor store here in Memphis, the breakfast spot, not an actual go get drunk liquor store, their biscuit recipe is close to identical to my Nana's. I've never been able to find someone else who makes them. Put no butter, no jelly, no gravy, nothing. But I know people feel fondly on biscuits and gravy.
I love biscuits and sausage gravy.
All right, with my number 2 pick then, I am going to take hash browns.
Oh!
Hash browns.
I thought I could get them!
Again, similar to the bacon situation, crispy hash browns are my favorite, where there's a nice crisp layer on the top. You can put hot sauce on your hash browns. You can put ketchup on your hash browns. You can put salt and pepper on your hash browns.
Are hash browns different than breakfast potatoes?
It depends what kind of breakfast potato. Are you talking about home fries? Home fries are different than hash browns.
I'm talking if we cut them
Hash
up.
browns are either like the shredded sprinkles
Yes.
or like a McDonald's hash brown that is crispy on the outside with in the middle.
Good.
Okay.
Good. So I can say breakfast potatoes and I can get the little square.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Wonderful. Give me them then.
Okay.
Give me those. Breakfast potatoes. They're wonderful. They're delightful. I like them more than hash browns because I like the texture of those, even though it's the same thing as a potato. But I like the texture a little bit more, and I think they hold on to seasoning a bit better as well. Sometimes it's tough for me to season the hash browns that are like diced or what have you. I can season the hell out of these potatoes, and they come off good. So
Fair.
give me the breakfast potatoes.
I do love breakfast potatoes with peppers in them. Peppers and onions.
See, my family likes them that way. My granny, RIP to the homie, used to make 2 batches of breakfast potatoes. She would make 1 batch for the family with the onions and the peppers in them, and she'd make 1 for me that's just plain.
That's what grannies are for.
Shout out to the grannies
I'm
out
going
there.
to trust. I'm nervous. I'm gonna make a pick, and if you snipe my next one, with my 3rd pick, I will take French toast. I think it is the superior doughy between pancakes, waffles, and French toast. French toast is king. You put that, especially the thick Texas toast, in the egg batter with the cinnamon. Pour syrup on top. I love a good French toast. That's what made me think of doing the breakfast draft in the first place, because with the Elon Musk news yesterday, everyone was trying to figure out where he got his challah French toast. Turns out it's from a place called Ricky's, and now I need to go have the challah French toast at Ricky's.
I'm tipping my hand a bit here. Not big into the sweet
Sugar?
breakfast pastries.
It's okay.
Not big into the pancakes or the waffles or the French toast.
Okay.
My wife, on the other hand, loves them. I understand, respect if you like them. I could eat breakfast for a month and not eat one of those types of things. What are we doing with breakfast sandwiches? Like, is that a thing?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I had another question, but I forgot it. Give me pancake on a stick. Give it to me.
Not again.
Yes, again. Pancake on a stick
I don't
is
like
a
sweet
wonderful
things for breakfast. Give me pancake on a stick.
Pancake on a stick is a wonderful breakfast item. You stop it. You stop trying to make sense. Give me pancake on a stick.
All right, great. Thank you for not taking mine. Give me breakfast burritos. There is nothing better than a breakfast burrito, especially on the West Coast when you get avocado in it. My favorite breakfast burritos have French fries in it and chorizo. I love eggs, chorizos, and French fries in my breakfast burrito, but I am not picky. I will take all the breakfast burritos, and you either take some Frank's or some Tapatio or some Sriracha, whatever you may have the opportunity to put to give your breakfast burrito a little bit of spice. We do not have as good of breakfast burritos in this part of the country, and it is honestly the thing that I miss most about living on the West Coast is the nature of the West Coast and breakfast burritos.
When I went on the cruise, they had a breakfast burrito spot. And I hit it up every day for my pre-breakfast. It was wonderful. That's a good pick. I find it interesting that you took breakfast burritos
Yes.
and they have eggs in them, but you didn't take
Yes.
eggs. And I have taken biscuits and sausage gravy and pancake on a stick and not taken sausage.
Right.
And it's not going to change this pick.
Okay.
I can't believe eggs has fallen this far.
You're taking all eggs. See, I got in a fight with Chris. I don't think you can take all eggs.
Yes, you can.
I think you have to specify what kind of eggs you're taking.
No, because you didn't specify all bacon. No,
That's different. That's different because eggs has egg-specific dishes. So are you taking fried eggs, omelets, eggs Benedict, scrambled eggs?
I think here's what I think.
Hard-boiled eggs.
I think that there's a difference. If you want to separate omelets from eggs, you can do that.
Okay.
You can only separate omelets from eggs.
Okay.
All right.
That's fine. That's fair.
But if I had to, I love a over easy or a sunny side up. I give it to me runny, and I want it running all over my plate into the various meats. Yeah, give that to me. But give me eggs.
Okay.
Give me eggs, not omelet. Eggs are a real versatile breakfast dish as well. You can get them scrambled. You can get them sunny side up, over hard, over easy, over medium. You can do a whole lot of different things. Get them hard boiled, soft boiled if you would like. You can poach them if that's your jam. But give me eggs.
Okay.
A real versatile breakfast item.
Then I am going to, with my fifth pick, take omelets. Because if you are at a breakfast buffet,
yes,
nothing gets you more excited than seeing an omelet bar.
Yes.
And the man in the little hat who flips all the vegetables and then flips the eggs.
What goes in your omelet?
I'm basic. Just ham and cheese.
Okay.
Is my favorite
No
omelet.
peppers?
I have dabbled with onions and peppers and mushrooms as I've gotten older, but when I was a picky eater as a kid, it was ham or cheese and bust.
That chunked ham?
Yes. Chunked ham and the cheese on the inside and the cheese on the outside, so it's extra cheesy. But I do like peppers, onions, mushrooms as my go-to hodgepodge of vegetables. Every now and then I'll have they'll have like an asparagus omelet.
What?
Yeah,
Where?
often. Asparagus is used heavily in omelets on the West Coast.
Okay, that's
and elsewhere.
a y'all thing.
And
That's
I
not
think
here.
it's a France thing.
Okay, yeah, we not French
I
and we're
don't
not
know.
on the West Coast, so that's.
But
not
I don't
something
like
I've ever had.
asparagus in omelets. It grosses me out.
Okay, that's a good pick.
I love omelets.
That's a good pick. Good pick.
Okay, your last pick.
Last pick. Do I go with tried and true or do I go with like my favorite breakfast meat? I love.
You go with anything that'll save your draft.
Well, Jacob is yelling at me about grits. But grits is cool. But if you're giving me like a breakfast side, and I think we think of eggs, not omelets, as a side, don't we? Are eggs a main? The bacon or the sausage is the main. The eggs is a side, isn't it?
Oh, I think of the bacon and the sausage as the side and the eggs as the main.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Is this a two Americas thing, or am
Is
I just
it?
flat out wrong?
I don't know. You like just blew my mind that
because
anyone would think differently.
If you sit down at a breakfast spot, it says, "Hey, get your meat, and here are your sides, and eggs is the side."
No. It says here's your eggs. Pick between.
Yeah, because that's the main.
No.
The eggs, the biscuit, or the toast,
No.
the hash, the potatoes. Those are the side.
Oh.
I might be wrong. I might be tripping here. Somebody help me out. Am I
But you
wrong?
can get like now that I'm thinking about it.
Luke, grab this post-it. We want to know, are eggs the side of breakfast or are eggs the main dish of breakfast?
They're the main dish.
They're the side.
They're not.
They're
the main dish.
It's eggs.
But it's okay.
Okay. All right. Well then, I don't even know what to do now. My mind is officially blown. Give me. Grits is what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Don't give me grits because I think that the potato is a much better
I agree.
breakfast side than grits, and I love a good bowl of grits.
Unless I'm eating shrimp and grits.
Shrimp and grits.
That's my favorite version of grits.
Oh, well, hell.
Okay.
Now you brought it up. I was going to take cereal. I was going to talk some about country ham because country ham is my favorite breakfast meat. But shrimp and grits is sitting there. Give me the shrimp and grits. Gotta have the shrimp and grits. Oh, it's so good. It's so savory and it's cheesy. They put a little sauce on top of it. The shrimp hits. And you can eat shrimp and grits at fancy restaurants. You can eat them at not fancy restaurants. Shrimp and grits are great all the time. Give me shrimp and grits.
It's shrimp girl season. Shrimp girl summer has become a thing. I've really embraced shrimp girl summer. I'm eating shrimp almost every single day. And I'm now craving shrimp and grits. The one breakfast pastry that I'm bummed that I did not have the chance to add to my draft, it just didn't fit. I think cinnamon rolls are goated. A good cinnamon roll can make me see Jesus. Like, I love cinnamon rolls. The smell of Cinnabon
Wait, hold on.
is euphoric.
Which Jesus?
Her.
Baby
She.
Jesus? Wait, there's a she
No,
Jesus?
I'm sorry. That's she God.
Yes.
My
all
bad.
right.
Jesus is very male.
Okay. You women are getting out of control here.
So sorry, I'm not
We
trying
can't
to.
have
I am not
anything.
trying to
We
regender
can't
Jesus.
have anything. This PC world we
Please
live
don't
in.
come for me.
My gosh.
He just had long hair, allegedly.
What were we saying before you claimed
Cinnamon
Jesus as a
rolls.
woman? Okay. Cinnamon rolls of the sweet breakfast pastries. I enjoy a good cinnamon roll.
I love cinnamon
rolls.
I
are good.
also love donuts.
Are we counting donuts as breakfast?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
breakfast food. Chris brought home a donut cake from work the other day. So it was like a glazed donut base with frosting on top, and it was so good. Any other breakfast items that you weren't able to pick?
Nobody said anything about pancakes or waffles. Chicken and waffles,
Chicken and
is up
waffles.
there for a lot of people.
Bagel and lox is up there for me, but I knew I'd get toasted.
Spam.
I hate spam.
Spam is good. Spam. When we went
Bacon,
to,
egg, and cheese on a bagel or a biscuit
like
or a
just a
sandwich.
breakfast sandwich
Yeah.
in general. I thought about grabbing that.
Coffee, I thought, but that's not a food.
Oh,
But it is a
that
necessity
was the
of
thing I was going to
breakfast.
ask you. What are we doing with like jelly and the such? Are those
No.
Those aren't
No.
breakfast foods? Okay. 'Cause
Scones.
a good jelly can save a lot of breakfast items. A good jelly can save
true.
some bad biscuits.
Muffins.
Yeah, I'm not really into it.
Yeah.
When I go to breakfast, I'm getting the meats. Just shove all the meats in my face. Give me the
I'm
bacon,
usually
the
getting
sausage.
a classic diner plate of eggs, bacon, biscuit, hash browns. That's my perfect breakfast.
And eggs are the main.
Eggs are the main.
And not the side.
Eggs are Hash browns and
I may
bacon
have
are the
been
side. The
viewing this
biscuit is
wrong
the
way
side.
the whole time.
Or have we been doing it the wrong way? Because now that you say it, like, you have to decide. But I think it's because you have to decide how to get your eggs prepared. I can't break down the science of it, but there's
And I
something
can't
about
either.
that makes the egg the main. And because eggs are the star of so many other, it's always like bacon is the add-on or sausage is the add-on, but you could get the omelet with bacon or ham or sausage in it. Eggs Benedict.
I think omelet is a main, right? Like omelet is a main breakfast dish.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to meditate on that.
I know.
You're giving me something to think
This
about.
is like one of life's biggest philosophical questions.
Are eggs the main?
Have I been tricked my whole life into giving eggs main character energy when in reality, they're just a side part? We'll think about it. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll end with some Theater Thursday news. We have a fun summer movie series coming next week that we want everyone to be a part of. It's been our chat question of the day. Gives you a little hint on what we might be talking about. You don't want to miss it. Find out what it is after a quick break.
If you look at it, as far as the number 9 pick over the years, there's been some pretty good players that have surfaced at number 9. Of course, Dirk Nowitzki, who won a championship. There's been a lot of great guys, but who knows if there is a great guy in this draft.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
I think we have the college basketball title futures. UConn's number 1.
I really like Houston. I'd have them winning it all, but you can't be giving Drake jerseys. What is wrong with you?
Maybe the Drake curse is stronger in college basketball.
How long has he been riding with Kentucky?
He wore an Alabama jersey and Saban retired.
The Odds Couple with Rob Fisher, Lang Whitaker, John Roser, and CJ Hurt live Thursdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
36.5 vertical?
Watch your head.
Yeah, you said it was 44.
You sure I said that?
36 and a half.
36 and a half is big.
36 and a half. I've got bench press here.
18 times.
17.
Okay.
You always have to put a little barbecue
It's
sauce.
all barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce on the wings.
The Chris Vernon Show, presented by Caesars Sportsbook, live weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Now for a limited time, the new $1.99 crispy tender wraps are here at Sonic. Who could deny a crispy chicken tender with bold flavors like hickory barbecue and cheesy Baja? And we can't forget the crisp lettuce and melty cheese to make the perfect bite. Wrap yourself up with some TLC, tender, love, and chicken for only $1.99. Sonic $1.99 crispy tender wraps. Tax not included, limited time only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
LifeCare Ambulance is proud to be an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies and FedEx Forum. At LifeCare, they wear their hearts with pride. Their passion is their people. They want you to love what you do and where you do it. Their employee-driven culture encourages a healthy work-life balance and supportive work environment. They invest in your success and well-being so that you can provide the best care for the patients that they serve. Join the incredible team of EMTs and paramedics in Memphis, Nashville, and across the nation today. Learn more at lifecareamb.com.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Okay, fine. We'll bring it here.
You
Yes.
think that Boston
Yes.
is a more racist city than who in the South?
I think it's a top 3 racist city.
No,
Yes.
it's a top 3 outside of the South.
No, I think
It's not.
and I think that's
Boston
what makes
wouldn't
it
be-
so
Boston wouldn't
awful.
be top 3 in the state of Tennessee. What are we doing here?
I don't know. I think it is.
Nashville, Memphis, Pulaski, throw Chattanooga, Knoxville in there as well. Don't go. Everywhere in East Tennessee is rough. All right, so throw Johnson City in there also.
Every city I drove through in Alabama to get to Florida
like-
the other week,
like,
maybe.
no.
Every Confederate flag that I passed along the way.
No, it's not. It's
How about
not.
it might be the most
anywhere
big city.
I think anywhere you have, and big cities have this, a diverse populace is going to be have some of the racism in there.
I don't think it has. I think that's one of its problems is it doesn't have as diverse of a populace. That's the compared to like New York City is wildly diverse.
Well, okay, so
Which insulates some of it where it's not just one group attacking another group because there is more like genuine diversity. Like Los Angeles has a lot of diversity within the city.
a lot of non-white diversity, because
Yeah.
that's the diversity in Boston that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Protestant Catholic throwing the black as well, and then you start throwing Italian. That type
I
of
almost
stuff
just looked
going
up Celtics demographics and stuff.
Go ahead, do it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. No, you're tripping. That's what I was talking with Chris about. And then it became, can't do cities. I have to sit
Boston
down and
is
think about cities. Let's do states.
48% white.
Yes. And then that white is pretty diverse. And if it's 48% white, what's the other 50-something percent?
It's 22% black.
Yep. That sounds pretty damn
It's
diverse to me.
9% Asian.
Yeah. That's Jessica. 48 white
Yeah, but
and
you said
52
but
other.
Memphis is 2%?
52. Is black the only thing that can be diverse? Like, we're not measuring
No, but we're
blackness.
speaking
We're
specifically
measuring,
about like racism towards black
Okay.
people in Boston.
Okay. Yeah, no.
Beautiful
It's-
city.
It's not
I don't
top-
want to hate on
it's-
everybody in
it's
Boston.
not top 10
There are
in the
some people
South.
who are trying very hard to change the perception of Boston.
The South does racism in a way that I don't
It's
think a
true.
lot of people really
There was a whole war
understand.
about it.
A whole war, a whole Jim Crow,
Yeah.
whole civil rights movement.
Whole movement.
Yeah,
Continued movement.
Yeah, the
That's
South,
fair.
the South does racism. One of the few things the South leads this nation in is racism. They
Yeah.
do it right. Boston is close. Don't get me wrong. Boston is close, but it's not. It's no Birmingham. Birmingham dropped so many bombs on black residents, they changed it to Birmingham? No. Boston's not
Even
that.
when I stopped in Montgomery, I forget exactly what it was, but it was some like take a right here and you
The
can see
Legacy
the
Museum.
old. No,
Okay.
but it was like take a right here and you can see the old home of the Klan. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep on going.
Virginia's floating about like, hey, what about us? West Virginia, you get into those mountains.
Oh, South Carolina has some sneakies. We went to a museum in Hilton Head. It was just a simple lighthouse museum, and it was completely repainting, reconstruction, and it was a wild time.
I forgot that you were driving through. I didn't know you were driving through Montgomery. I should have known you were driving through Montgomery.
Well, I could have also gone through Mobile, but I went through Montgomery instead.
The Legacy Museum is a great history museum.
Is that
I think
downtown?
everybody should go to. Yeah.
I saw.
Yeah, I think
in
everybody.
the distance.
Montgomery's like a 4.5, 5 hour drive. If you're looking for a day trip to do with the kids,
How
teach them
close
some
is
history.
Montgomery to Selma?
Not that far.
Because if I'd had more time, I wanted to go to Selma.
Yeah.
Because I don't drive down there often.
Right.
But
of the two, I would do that museum and then do Selma.
Go to the bridge.
Yeah. Okay. So do that museum. It's a 2-part museum. It's phenomenal. We love the Civil Rights Museum here. That museum is every bit the peer of the Civil Rights Museum. The hat I wear with the little chain on it, the black hat, the black and white. Yeah, I got that from there. It's an incredible museum.
I did think to myself when I was in downtown Montgomery, I said I would like to come back here for a small trip. It looked like there was enough to do there between museums, restaurants.
Montgomery?
Yeah, just a little down for a weekend in Montgomery.
Yeah.
And it was bustling. There was the Sun Belt baseball tournament was there that weekend. So
Birmingham, Montgomery, Mobile, those are cool cities to kick it in. Those are cool cities to do a week. Mobile is beautiful.
Birmingham's cool.
Yeah.
I stopped at a Target in Birmingham. I said, why is the Target in Birmingham nicer than the Target in Memphis?
It's a Target. What are we doing?
It was like 3 stories. It was incredible. I went up an escalator. I don't need to go up an escalator at the Target in Memphis.
So the measurement of
they
how nice your city is.
They also have a Saks Fifth Avenue. I was shocked.
They got a Pappadeaux.
They got good shopping.
I
did. I saw the Pappadeaux.
They
had another chain restaurant, like a upper Pappadeaux level chain that I was like, why don't we have that?
Whenever I go to Birmingham for the Swag Media Day, it's like, okay, I'm going and I'm stopping at Pappadeaux, damn it. I'm eating good on the company dime. Give me all those scrimps.
Okay, trip to Birmingham coming right up. All right, it is Theater Thursday. This is where we would normally talk about movie-related news, movies we've seen, but instead, very excited to drop that we are starting a summer movie series here on the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt this summer. Bennett Doyle is going to join us. We might have some other people from Grind City Media along the way if they decide to join in on the fun. But what we are going to do is every week we will be voting on 4 movies that come from a specific category. So for example, the first week is going to be sports movies. So our first summer movie is going to be a sports movie, and myself, CJ, other Jacob, and Bennett have each provided a sports movie for the people to vote from. You can vote here, you can vote on Twitter, you can vote on Instagram, and whatever movie gets the most votes collectively will be our movie for the week. And every Thursday, we will be talking about the movie that we all watched together. So the options for this first one are Air Bud, Dodgeball, Remember the Titans, and Sandlot. With our YouTube chat question of the day, Remember the Titans has 32% of the vote. But if you want another movie, remember it can be on any of the other platforms that you can vote on. But we're going to have all kinds of categories all summer from, what are our categories, CJ?
I just gave you some, but I didn't know we were legitimately doing it.
Well, these are just some options.
Some options. So we did sports movies, Shakespearean. So that could be
The Lion King.
The Lion King, which is a Hamlet remake. Chick flicks, Hero's Journey, black movies, buddy movies, classical interpretations. Give me one of those.
I thought we were going to blend that with Shakespeare.
We're blending it. So 10 Things I Hate About You. Fall
Also
into
Shakespeare.
that. Would that be made today?
It's a great one.
Magical Negro and White Savior, of course. Of course, we got to get those.
I can't wait
there.
for our Blind Side summer movie series.
I mean,
I had one that I thought we could add. I added it on mine and for you. Like teen books made into movies. So Harry Potter, Twilight, Hunger Games. If there's another one of that nature that fits into there. Percy, Lightning Thief. Is that one? Did I get that right? Yeah.
Percy Jackson in the
Divergent.
Okay.
Shailene Woodley. Once Upon a Time, Aaron Rodgers' girlfriend. Oh, I said I wasn't talking about him.
Holes is in that, isn't it?
Yes.
What's the one with the popcorn bucket?
Oh, I want to watch Holes.
The one with the Dune. Isn't Dune one of those?
Yeah, technical. Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Any of those.
We'd have to narrow it down before. But
I don't know how we get. Holes could also be Hero's Journey. I will rig the ballot box for Holes. I will have my Falsified Election with holes because I've been wanting to rewatch that movie for a long time. The number of times I quote, "I'm tired of digging holes, Grandpa. That's too damn bad," is far too often.
Full disclosure,
You've never seen Holes?
hadn't seen Holes. Never seen it. My brother loved that movie.
Dig it up, dig it. I love the
couldn't
music
find it
video for the
interesting.
song with it. Oh, I can't believe you haven't seen Holes.
Nope.
Signore Weaver, Shia LaBeouf, Zero. Who played Zero?
I don't know.
I know you
I
didn't.
can
You
see
don't
him.
know
I can
because-
see him. I see him.
Oh, John Voight's in it. That's kind of a bummer.
Who's John Voight?
It's not. It's Angelina Jolie's dad.
Okay.
Cleo Thomas played Zero. That was his biggest role.
Okay.
Anyway, we're gonna do the Summer Movie Series. It's gonna be fun. We'll let you know.
So poll
Yes.
is up should be going up on Instagram and Twitter. We're going to combine the YouTube poll with those polls to get a clear winner.
Yes, and we will announce our winner tomorrow so that if people want to watch the movie over the weekend, but you'll have until next Thursday to watch it. That'll do it for today's show. It's a fun one. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll have the NBA Finals to discuss, Celtics, Mavs. We have our picks of the day.
Okay.
My picks, I'm taking the Mavs to cover tonight. They're 6.5-point dogs on the road in Boston to start this thing off. I think Oklahoma softball is going to win their 4th straight national title with a win over Texas. We have a Red River shootout in the college softball College World Series. Oklahoma won game 1, 8-3. I think they take care of it in 2. And then my lock of the day is the New York Liberty, who play again tonight, and the Liberty are playing the Dream. Liberty's 6.5-point favorites. Give me the Liberty.
Okay, and so give us your other lock because you didn't do picks at all yesterday, so you need 3 more.
I know. I was.
No way!
I was.
I'm
in pain.
I'm gonna fall.
I was in pain and suffering.
Damn that! I'm gonna fall on my ass, and so I can get out of this as well. Whatever. Fine. I'm gonna go with Jacob. Did she even send you her picks?
Yes.
You did. Okay. I'm gonna go with Sonny Gray. Wait, that's from yesterday, Jacob.
Yeah, you haven't even updated your picks.
I sent mine. That's on other Jacob. You guys are terrible at these picks. Not as bad as my record, but y'all are still terrible. Sonny Gray of the St. Louis Cardinals, my Cardinals, he's on the mound. 7 wins, top 10 in the MLB in wins. I will take the over the 6.5 strikeouts. I do believe they're playing Colorado. That's not a very good baseball team. Sonny averages about 7 strikeouts a game. Give me the over, and then you can parlay it with the Cardinals straight up at -250. Both of those picks are minus odds. Parlay them. I think you get it at like plus 105 or something like that. So I will do that. And my lock, Liberty minus the 6.5 against the Dream, a feisty Dream team, but yo, Liberty. Collision course with the Sun on Saturday.
Right.
They're not going to get caught looking ahead. They're going to take care of business, and then we get a great basketball game on Saturday.
I can't wait for you to eat 9 trash-tasting jelly beans tomorrow. That gives me a reason to wake up in the morning, so I appreciate it. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your day. Our lyrics of the day to send you off. I've got nothing other than... Last, everybody go chop breakfast, which is the lyric from Last by Burna Boy. Thank you, CJ. Bye. No words? You have nothing left to say?
I'm texting your husband.